Well, what defensive options are available? It's going to be the Tom Kench. I have some stats to back up some of yours as well. Hecarim has been played twice before today. Both of them were wins. Haru has a win on Hecarim.
You know, it's clear they think Gwen is going to be killable here, otherwise you will never skip those camps to go for it. Xerxes comes in looking for the play. Janak actually steps up, has Ignite, no flash available.
No.
Xerxes goes for the play. Vizisachi needs to walk forward, they need to fight it together, it's a little bit split, but with that, Vizisachi gets the first blood. Beautiful. Caster is pretty fun, but I am lucky that I have my Collar Caster Quickshot here by my side. Quickshot, take this one.
Oh, Kobe's going to be forced to flash. Jezu retreats, step forward, 200 hit points down to 100. One more, so it does it! Treat picks up the kill onto Kobe. Misplay from Astralis.
So I think, you know,
hold that thought. Xerxes gets booted backwards. Certus is flashed forwards. Threaded volley into Auto. Will secure the kill. SK find it.
You know, I remember him as like the control-heavy guy, the guy that slowly sets up his team for success, and I think that's definitely still the case.
Oh, beautiful!
There it is, setting up his team.
Flash, he's got the cannon barrage available. 5v5 in the river. Bruxa, you called it. You said the fight was coming. Kobe, level 5. Jezu, level 6. Certus rides the wall to safety. The onslaught of shadows. Fire those needles, but there's not enough damage. Junghoon now steps forward. Certus is caught out. He's going to force the knocker back away. Jezu, red, white guns, tears through Dayor. SK pick up the first. Treats gets 6. The hostile takeover lands onto Chachi, but they can't stick to the targets anymore. It's so far just the one. Continuing to throw out the damage. Can Certus knock someone back? No.
Control for both of those objectives. Astralis used all their control to get the Herald. SK in return gets the pushback, he can get the...
Slightly more drawn out laning phase, that's a pretty large signal.
Yeah, and to be fair, we're going in.
Weaver's wall pulled a little short. Dayo starts to step backwards. Xerxes and Yongu come from behind. Trees is going to fire out the hostile takeover, buys just a few seconds as Xerxes is now looking for the bailout, looking for the handshake between the uprights. Kobe does not find a target. Now Gilius forced to ghost away for his life.
It's a little bit awkward if you're SK right now because your only gold lead is on your support.
Yeah.
And there's a limit to how much that actually matters. Now, I really like what Gilius is doing here because he knows, once again, it's just the objective trade. One team gets the Drake. If you're fast, you can move to the other objective on the other side right away and secure that for your team. And considering that SK are in a losing position, being able to get that Herald is actually pretty big. Now, I'm really curious to see how this top lane plays out at this point, because if we look back at the past weeks, Vizisachi hasn't been the strongest laner of all time, and that has been JNX's big strength. But right now, they're basically even.
I mean, they are, and I just, your word usage for that hasn't been the strongest laner of all time. I think fans, the most skilled shooters or aimers, because they're using their brains as a skill. Maybe a parallel could be drawn. Right now, a parallel is being drawn in the river. Certus put the wall down! Certus put the wall down! Jezu retreats locked outside, can't get in just yet, but GenX is doing work. We just talked about the influence and the impact. Chachi forced a flash for his life, the needle, the snip, 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 the double for GenX.
Line.
How does it feel, Broxner, when you accidentally hit a stopwatch in-game and it is highlighted by the observers and cheered for by Berlin?
To be fair, they're not even going to know what actually happened. But Junghoon looking for the play, getting a little bit over-eager perhaps, and he will be slain.
Oh, I love it! I love it.
Finish his second item on Gwen. And Astralis is going to have a pretty hard time dealing with him.
Well, Gilius gets jumped on. The Weaver's wall will separate Astralis. Chachi goes good night. Hostile takeover. Catches onto Dayor. Waiting for the shockwave. No flash available. The zap goes a little wide. So SK, they combine the abilities. The Weaver's wall preventing Astralis from jumping into the fight. We're on an Infernal Rift, fighting for an Infernal Drake. And GenX is stepping in from behind. The onslaught of shadows. Fears up too. But a gobble from Junghoon will keep Dayor alive for now. He still hasn't fired the shockwave. Finally does. Not enough damage. He's down. SK dumpster. Astralis, but Kobe. He manages to pick up a couple before taken down and aced by SK.
That was some impressive. All of a sudden, as TP advances, that TP advances can come in really handy and help them get Baron control.
Running. Devastating charge backwards. Cat fish for dinner. That is a hella fast.
All they had to do was not die for those 10 seconds, but Gilius obviously ran right at them. They couldn't get out. JNX is now getting caught here in the 1v2. No one is going to be able to follow him in
Who's
time, but
catching
he can
who?
almost do
Who's
it.
catching who? That hallowed mist did so much work.
The horse is back.
Gilius, give it a lick. No unstoppable onslaught. No heartbreaker. Cannon barrage is available. The tongue lash comes out. 2,500. Teleport coming forward. Flash forward. What? Cersei steals the Baron.
Go for it.
Okay. When I'm assuming we'll get a replay. I hope that we do. After we see Chachi now being caught out, gets jumped on by. Oh, who's catching who? Who's catching who? Shockwave. Not gonna find its target. Jezu this time caught out. Flame Chomper's down. Moonlight Vigil. Gale Force forward. And the burning Cobby will just about survive.
Done so many things, but Xerxes was just chilling.
Just chilling. Manages to get the smite down with the help of.
All in all, I like this from Astralis. Grouping up, trying to get that mid turret, but they do need to be mindful about SK's engage. Of Holland was actually the unsung hero here, because while Cobby does have flash available, he kind of sacrificed his own flash to save his AD carry.
They are no shockwave. Gilius with the devastating charge, but look at that damage. Cobby remains untouched. A couple of autos, and the fact that Chachi is pushing in a
They're gonna just lose Drake for free. They try to bring some of SK's members up, but SK is smart, letting the AD carry secure.
Around. Puts it inside the pit. Baron's down to 3,000. SK late.
He's not gonna make it.
Onslaught shouts. No, it's way too late to the party. Genex is looking for the flank, and that's already a dead pony. Gilius is dropped in the pit. Surtus goes golden with the Hourglass, and Genex is wreaking havoc. Snip. Goodbye, Cobby. Genex goes golden. Surtus goes mad. In a 4 versus 5. No, screw that. Genex in a 1 versus 4 is going to take the fight. And then one again.
Did I say jungle gap? I think it's a top gap if I've ever seen one. JNX is going absolutely beast mode. Solo carrying that fight. There's 30 seconds of time. Kench 35 on Cobby.
They can get an inhib here
It's
at
going to be
least,
a close
right?
one. They get an inhib at worst, but I don't think they're going to get more than that. Let's see though. Let's see, because they do push relatively quickly.
How bold. 3 members of SK pushing into an undefended base. Genex, snip, chucking out those needles. Tower is down. 10 seconds for Yonghun. 20 for Cobby. I think they're going to push for this. They're going to look for a Nexus turret. SK, can they close up before anybody even spawns? My word. Genex puts SK in the backpack. The second Nexus turret will fall.
They're going to make it, Trevor.
Nexus is being focused, and SK Gaming take down Astralis.
Wow. JNX is just so good at this game.